Earth. From space it looks the same as it did in the 1960s, a marvelous floating ball with rich green spots surrounded by an endless royal blue sea. Although it is far from the same and is changing so drastically, it could be almost unrecognizable from outer space in coming years. Climate change has reached a new level that has capabilities to destroy our planet completely, making it uninhabitable for humans, which most scientists believe is an unavoidable fate at this point. Although if we commit to changing our ways now by living a life of durability, sturdiness, sustainability, hardiness, and robustness, then the human race will be able to survive on the tough new planet we have created. The human race has abused the earth and pushed its limits since the Industrial Revolution. With huge industries releasing toxic amount of carbon dioxide, people constantly using ineffective cars and transportation, and massive garbage and littering problems, leaving the oceans and ground covered in our messes. In Bill McKibben's book Earth, he repetitively mentions the carbon dioxide levels in parts per million. The healthy amount that the Earth survived at was 275 parts per million, and since the 20th century it has skyrocketed. As of 2018, we're at 407.2 parts per million, as you can see on the graph. The red blinking dot is where we are. Not to mention, this graph only shows the increase in the last 12 years, but it is still a steep upward slope. This caught scientists and politicians' attention, leading them to create a number resembling the danger zone. The number was set at 550 parts per million. Since then, we've been fixated on this number as the max we are allowed to reach, even though it has been proved to not be based on any scientific evidence. Paul Roberts investigated into the truth of this, emerging with the fact that the number was set because it was 15% higher than our current levels, seeming like a number we wouldn't have to worry about for a while. The ignorance and unaccountability is causing the parts per million to rise this badly and will have rapid and extreme effects if we don't change our mindsets about daily life now by living more sustainably. These increasingly high amounts of carbon dioxide that we are releasing into the atmosphere will not only affect our grandchildren and their children, but is starting to significantly affect our world today. The increasing sea levels in Dublin, Marshall Island, and North Carolina are costing people thousands of dollars each year in order to rebuild and prevent destruction. The increasing temperatures in Vermont and along the Yukon River in Canada are infested with bugs spreading diseases rapidly. The decreasing rain levels in Brazil and Bangladesh have started ruining families since they can't farm to feed their families or make an income. The increased frequency and severity of storms like hurricanes, tsunamis, and earthquakes are affecting nations all over the world, including ours, like the hurricanes in the south demonstrated last year. All these catastrophes will only get worse to the point of human extinction if we don't change and make efforts to release less carbon dioxide now. When people think about solving climate change, they often get overwhelmed with the amount of work and money it will cost to fix it. But if we think about it in sections, it'll get continuously easier. For example, in some places around the world, they have significantly cut their carbon emissions by taxing gas cars almost double as much as electric. This makes it more economical for people to buy the electric cars, persuading the countries to make the switch to electric with low to no cost on the government. Finding ways like this to lead people into more sustainable options can result in a massive positive impact on our carbon emissions while costing little to nothing in new taxes on the nation's people. Although there are ways our government can help immensely, personally, our mindset will have to change in order to make a significant impact of carbon dioxide emissions. We'll have to think smaller, not country or state like we have been, but smaller. We'll have to think about our neighbors and the blocks we live on. We'll have to go to farmers market and into our yards to supply our food instead of releasing 8 tons of emissions per household annually just by transporting food. The little things we do every day will be what decides our outcome on this planet. In Bellingham, we are surrounded by a culture that is filled with local options, like farmers markets during the summer, Edeline Dairy, the food co-op, but as a whole community, we have to use these resources as our primary options instead of supplementary ones in order to make a difference. The earth we have created can never go back to the way it was, but if we work to live sustainable lives by using local products, buying things that will last, and being aware of our emissions, the earth can stay livable. Think small, think locally, think environmentally.